Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Brooks Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of February 3rd, 2021. There's a lot going on outside my house. My neighbors are getting their driveway redone, so there's like a loud noise there, and there's some honking going on. I don't know. But if you hear that, I apologize. But let's get on to the pull list for this week. First up, we have The Dreaming Waking Hours, number 7. For those of you who follow my channel, you'll know that I don't have The Dreaming Waking Hours volume or number 6. We were shorted ours were damaged, and we still have yet to receive our replacement copies. So I may try and snag one of the damaged ones to read it. But sometimes this happens. We don't know what's going on with Lunar, and so we're waiting to hear back from them. So once we hear back, I'll hopefully get my replacement copy of Dreaming the Walking or Waking Hours. Sorry. Next up, we have Far Sector number 10. This continues to go as a decent book. I'm enjoying it. The writing style is not normally what I would gravitate towards, but I can see the appeal of it. But it's definitely decent stuff. Next up, we have Future State. More Future State books. So first one is Future State: The Flash, number 2. I read the first issue and was like, this is okay. I had a conversation with a customer about Flash, especially when it came to Barry and Wally, and that it's very difficult to write them in the same, that when they're there at the same time. Like when it's a team thing or a Flash event, it's okay to kind of have them. But in a general, just normal setting of having the Flash doing some Flash like stories or whatever, all this stuff, it's really hard to have both of them kind of around the same area, if that makes any sense. In this one, it's really apparent, especially since what they are doing with Wally West is making him break bad again. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's not one of the ones I'm really enjoying. I do like everybody else in the book, but I think the dynamic with Wally, where we've had him break bad just recently in Heroes in Crisis, it just does not fit, and I don't know if I'm going to enjoy the payoff, but we'll see. Hopefully something is done with Wally coming out of Future State, where they can figure out what to do with him, especially what to do with him and Barry at the same time. Next up, Future State, Harley Quinn, number 2. I really enjoyed the first issue, so I can't wait to dive into this one, especially with her going up against the Black Mask and all that stuff. I don't know when or why Black Mask became one of Harley's bads, but it works. It's fine. Next up, we have the Future State, The Next Batman, and number 3. This is one of the books there's 4 of them coming out, so we're on the issue 3 of this. I'm a few issues behind on my Future State books. I have about 10 more to read, but hopefully I'll get to these 2 and get them done. I have been enjoying the multiple story ones, so yeah. Next up, we have Superman of Metropolis, number 2. This one follows Jonathan Kent around. The first one was I liked it. I'm curious to see where that story goes. And this one also has the Guardian Mr. Miracle extra stories in it. Next up is Future State Swamp Thing, number 2. I enjoyed the first issue of Swamp Thing. Really curious to see where it goes with at least the second part of that story that they're telling, so we'll see. Next up is Future State Wonder Woman, number 2, with the new Wonder Woman riding atop of her steed and basically with Cerebus on a leash. Joelle Jones is just having fun with this book, and I think her art is amazing, and it works really, really well for this character. And so I cannot wait to see where they take this new Wonder Woman and what they end up doing with her after Future State. So we'll see. Next up is a Black Label book, and that is Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, book 4. I think this is the last book of Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti's Harley Quinn run, technically. So we'll see if, I can technically take a peek at the back of the book. Yes, it says the end. So this should be the last book in their run of Harley Quinn. Now, I'm really curious to see what they do going forward with like collections, because if you look behind me right here, we have the 1, 2, and 3 volumes of the omnibuses that collect Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Conner's Harley Quinn work. but it doesn't have the black label. So are we going to get, I don't foresee us getting this size for it. I foresee us getting the black label magazine size hardcovers, so we'll see. But I've really enjoyed Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti's run on Harley, and hopefully this one finishes out decently. Next up is another Hellblazer title, and that's another black label title. That's Hellblazer Rise and Fall, book 3. This is written by Tom Taylor with art by Derek Robertson, and man, it's just classic, really cool Hellblazer stuff that you really should check out if you like that character. John Constantine is one of those characters that just has such a assholiness about him, excuse the French. But yeah. Next up is a new one from Boom. I picked up this one specifically because it was a Jenny Friesen cover, so I was going to give it a try since it's also #1. And that's Luna, #1 from Boom Studios. Boom's been doing a decent job with bringing out some new stuff, so I can't wait to see if this one is one of those titles that's going to catch my attention and keep me wanting to read more. Next up is a book for my son, and that's Marvel Action Origins #1. This is going to feature Spider-Man and Thanos. He says, "Dad, I want to read those." I was like, okay, so I started picking them up. Next up, we have Markio Tamaki writing the Overwatch Tracer, London Calling #305. I've been enjoying it so far. It's a nice book or comic in the Overwatch universe. So if you're an Overwatch fan, I would recommend it. Next up is some more books for my son, and that's Star Wars Adventures #3. Yep, interesting cover there. Next up is the only Marvel single issue title I buy, and I haven't bought one in years. So this is me breaking a streak that was probably a 10-year streak, but I have not bought a single issue Marvel comic in a long time. But I decided to get this series because it's just I really want to know what's going on with it. I'm really curious to see where they take it. And that's excuse me, sorry, long day. Star Wars: The High Republic #2. I picked up issue 1 and enjoyed it, so I'm going to continue on with the High Republic book. A lot of people are into the High Republic stuff. #1 sold out, went to a second printing, that sold out. I believe next week the 3rd printings of #1 come out, so be on the lookout if you did not snag one, if you want to read it. But yes, it goes hand in hand with all of the stuff that Disney's putting out with the High Republic and the novels and the novel, the YA book, and the comics. So yeah. So I decided to not necessarily, I guess, jump on the High Republic bandwagon to see what it was all about, even though I've already read, or I'm already doing the novels for Star Wars. I did get the High Republic one, so by Charles Soule, so I can't wait to see what's in that. But yeah, lots of stuff to read. And next up, speaking of High Republic, we have Star Wars: The High Republic Adventures #1 is out. Hopefully you can snag one up at your local comic book shops, because High Republic is a hot item right now. So yeah, but I can't wait to see where they take these adventures books within the High Republic. And my son likes the Star Wars stuff, so I'll get it for him. Next up is The Walking Dead Deluxe #8, because yeah, I'm going to go back and read through it. I have not yet read issues 1 through 7. I stockpiled them, and I apparently have 8 stockpiled right now. My reading pile is slowly getting back under control, at least single issue wise. Graphic novel wise, it's probably a lost cause at this point, but I'll still attempt it. But yeah, so there's definitely that. But I'm excited to go and see Walking Dead in a different way, and that's in color. So I did grab some variants this week. Let me get the pile. It's over here. So there's two things that go along with this variant pile, so bear with me. Let me get through it. First up, we have Future State The Flash #2. I forgot I ordered it. This was a better cover than the last one, but hey, what can you do? Next up, we have the Gary Frank Future State cover for Harley Quinn #2. Future State Harley Quinn #2. Awesome cover there. I liked the cover for Future State The Next Batman #3, so I decided to snag that one up as well. Future State Superman of Metropolis had a really awesome cover with like different types or different, multiverse Supermans all surrounding Jonathan there. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to grab that. Future State Swamp Thing number 2, just harken back to that Tom King winter special that was just amazing. So I grabbed that one because I liked it. Jenny Friesen has just done a fantastic job on all the Wonder Woman variants. And there's no surprise that the Future State Wonder Woman number 2 variant that she did is fantastic. I also picked up the Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey variant for book 4 because I'm a sucker for Harley Quinn. And I really enjoyed this Hellblazer Rise and Fall variant, so I snagged this one up as well. It's a really awesome skull thing that they did there. And for the Walking Dead Deluxe, I actually enjoyed this cover of the All Dead Do Not Enter cover that they did here. So for number 8, so I snagged that one up as well. This is the difference in the pile. So those are the variants from this week. These are second prints. Technically, they're considered variants, but they are second prints. And the first one is for, of course, Future State Harley Quinn number 1. So I snagged this second print up. And of course, I love Joelle Jones, and so I picked up the Future State Wonder Woman number 1 second print as well. There's most of the number 1s are getting second prints, so be on the lookout. I know the Teen Titans second print is out this week, and it's probably already sold out. So yeah, if you didn't pre-order it, it's probably gone. So that's it for my variants that I picked up. I did grab a book to read and check out, and it's a new number 1 from Image, and that's Deep Beyond number 1. So I picked this one up to check out, so we'll see if I enjoy it. I'll let you know. I did grab a kids graphic novel that came out, and that is Flash Facts for my kids to check out. And this is from Maya Bialik, PD, the woman who starred in The Big Bang Theory as Sheldon's girlfriend / wife / all that stuff. Let's see. She was also in Blossom. God, that makes me feel old. But yeah, this Flash Facts, it's 10 stories. It combines science and all that stuff. So if you want your kids to check out some sciencey stuff, snag this up. And finally on my pull list this week, or not on my pull list, just in general, I'm starting to let you guys know what I'm reading currently novel-wise. So every year at the high school I work at, we do a teen read week. This year it is falling in March, and this year it's going to be virtual. So the librarian asked me to read 2 things. The first one is going to be one I show you here, and then I'll show you the other one probably next time when I'm reading it or when I finished it. But the first one is Marie Lou's Sky Hunter. This is a YA novel. Hey, spoiler alert, it's a dystopian kind of YA novel. Ooh, it's basically society died or whatever. The skyscrapers are all overgrown with plant life, and everything's just torn down, and their society is building itself back up again. And there's warring factions and refugees and all this stuff. It's not like it's a desert Mad Max wasteland. There is some elements of not having enough and all that stuff to the backdrop of the book, but so far I've been enjoying it. It's definitely something that's been really interesting, and I just started a few days ago. I will say this though, it's nice and refreshing to see a main character use AS or sign language, maybe not necessarily ASL, but actually use sign language. So it's really awesome to see that. You don't see it as you're reading it, they just say they signed something, but it's really interesting that will translate later if it is picked up for something like a TV show or a movie. And so yeah, the main characters has sign language, and I think that's a very underrepresented part of our society, are the people who use sign language to communicate. The main character is not originally mute. She becomes mute at a young age due to something with breathing in some bad air and escaping from oppression and all that stuff. So she's I think she's aware of what speaking is like, but she uses sign language to really communicate. And it comes in handy in what she is, which is a striker, which are people that go after people who are partnered up with a shield, and they go out after bad guys out around the city or the place where they live to protect it. So interesting stuff. I can't wait to read through it. It's really jarring though that the name of the book is on the spine. So as I'm reading it, there is this weird like thing up top, and part of me is like, is this Braille? Is this supposed to be a code? I don't know. But yeah, Sky Hunter. I'm enjoying it. That's it for this week. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments down in the comment section below. Let me know what you picking up, what you're excited for, what you, if you have any questions, all that. Be nice. Internet is not necessarily a fun place to begin with all the garbage that's floating around in it. So yeah. You can listen to me on the Comics Conspiracy podcast. We just finished recording episode 486. Where we actually have a special guest on, and that guest was Joshua Williamson. You might know him from Nailbiter, Birthright, and his run on Flash, the stuff during Rebirth. He is doing Infinite Frontier Zero, which is kind of the intro book for what's going on in the DC universe going forward, much like the DC Universe Rebirth one-shot was. Back when Johns wrote that in 2016. So yeah, so I highly recommend you snag a copy. FOC on that is due Sunday of this week. So Sunday of this week is, looking at the calendar, it looks like the 7th. So the 7th is when FOC is due. So if you want to check this out, you really need to place an order with your local shop. Hopefully your local shop puts in a decent sized order anyway. But yeah, I definitely want to check this out. A lot of stuff happens in this. Some good stuff, some bad stuff. Hopefully I'm supposed to get an advanced read of it. And if I do, and I have a chance, I might do a short video on whether or not, or you know, what like just a reaction thing with no spoilers. But we'll see. But definitely check out the episode 486. We talked with Joshua Williamson. Josh is awesome and amazing. We've had him on before. And yeah, can't wait to have him on again. But you need to, there's a link in the description below. You can go to that. You can help me and my fellow conspirators out through Patreon at www.patreon.com/comicsconspiracy. For as little as $1 a month, you help us with hosting fees and getting products. So thank you very much to all of our Patreon backers. It helps out immensely and it helps keep me in comics. And thank you. You can also help me out a little more directly. Any of the Amazon links here at conspiratorbark.com. Click on one of those, buy something. I get a little Amazon money. Thank you for those who do that. And you can also head over to my eBay page. There's a link in the description below. And that's where I get rid of stuff, and you can see what I'm getting rid of and see if it's something that's up your alley. That's it. I would normally be on Twitter, but I've been suspended for over 100 and some days. I think it's almost 114 days at this point. So yeah, I keep putting in an appeal, and they keep saying, oh, we're going to look at it. Oh, we're going to look at it. I highly doubt they're going to look at it. So we'll see. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.